Hello, this is Om More and welcome to another video. So my channel banner has two words, history and art. I've made some two videos on history, but haven't made any video on art. And today we are going to talk about Indian comic industry and masterpieces that you never probably knew about. So let's get started. When I was in the 7th standard, I found a comic magazine in a bookstall and I was just awestruck looking at its quality and design. It was just up to the level of international comics like Marvel or DC with awesome artwork, so I decided to buy it and had fun reading it. And some days later, I just took it to the school. When I showed it to one of my friends, he was so mesmerized that he insisted upon selling it to him. As I was done reading it, I simply sold it to him. Years later, I suddenly remembered about how awesome the comic was. I searched for it on Google as I remembered the name. It was Level 10 Comics and the magazine was called Comic Jump. When I went through its information, I found out that Comic Jump was a monthly magazine that was for mature readers, pretty much like the Japanese manga. Back in 2011, they had introduced something like this, mature content for Indian audience. As before that, comics were targeted mostly towards kids, having light themes. They came up with some awesome stories like Daksh, Batugaidan, Yumi and Shaurya. Batugaidan was later adapted into an animated short film that aired on Cartoon Network, targeting kids audience and had their original theme converted somewhat into a lighter tone. They came up with a masterpiece graphic novel series called Odayan. The story of Odayan was set in medieval Kerala, revolving around a vigilant and an expert Kalari player to martial artist, Odayan. This graphic novel was critically acclaimed and won an award at the Comic Con. But even though after delivering such content, Level 10 Comics shut down due to lack of support from Indian audience. I mean, it stopped making comics and finally got converted into a media company, Nihoro Media, which later started producing kids' cartoon shows. They finally probably understood that there is no demand for mature, thought-provoking content and started doing the same business like most media houses are doing today. In Japan, they made manga since the last 150 years or so, and over time their best mangas were adapted into animated format, which we today call anime or anime. To their audience, reading manga gives the same entertainment as a movie. In other words, they treat reading manga as an equivalent entertainment source as the entertainment one would get from watching a movie. But in India, it is widely believed that comics are supposed to be meant just for kids. It's just because most of the current comics in India target children as their audience. But comics or manga is an awesome or an excellent medium of storytelling that's not being used in India as others who are using it globally. Conclusion is support such comic creators if you come across them by purchasing their works. Create a demand that will lead to a supply. Again, I cannot cover the entire Indian comic industry in just one video. Therefore, more parts will also come out in which I'll be discussing about more such comics that you probably don't know. Till then, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, you can consider subscribing it. And also press the bell icon. Share this video and make people around you aware about this. Like the video if you found it making you aware of something that you previously weren't aware of. We'll catch you on the next one.